mobile phone? Yeah. Well, they have one for the Glaziers, but it's only for work. I can't remember the number.
Come on.
It's in the kitchen. I saw it plugged into its charging cradle.
Mobile phone.
I did. Well, we met when we were 17, both working at the Glaziers.
17. Minute 17.
No. Everyone loved Simon. He's a Glazier. He doesn't have much money. I don't know. I don't know. No.
Alright, he doesn't have much money. I think we got the hint of that. Okay, let's try this. Hannah, pregnancy. Eve, pregnancy? No. Simon murdered. Let's go back to that. What does she say here?
I didn't murder Simon. You've got it wrong. You've got the wrong person.
So all these videos at the beginning make a little bit more sense. Now, black eye.
If one of us got hurt, the other one would have to be hurt too. A grazed knee, a bruise. When I lost my tooth first, we had to pull out Hannah's to match.
Lost tooth.
Once, I slept with a boy who was seeing another girl. The girlfriend came up to Hannah the next day and punched her in the face, gave her a huge black eye. That night, she had to do the same to me. And she almost went too far. I couldn't see out of that eye for days. She snuck a frozen piece up for me from the kitchen. So much of our bodies were synchronized anyway. We started our period on the same day. Childhood diseases, stomach bugs, nits.
Stomach bug, nits. I guess hit at the same time. Crazy. Okay, twins. Maybe this will finally give us some information of what the hell's wrong with this lady.
Twins? Really? Are you really asking me that question?
Ah, come on!
Are you out of your mind? Twins?
She didn't answer the question, did she? That was July 2nd.
There were always princes and princesses. They were the special people, more important than the other characters in their stories. We knew we were like that. Twins. Magical. We were the princesses. We had a poster of Princess Diana from the newspaper up in our attic. Had a pride of place. And underneath we used to put all our special things. When her engagement was announced, we were obsessed with everything she did. And later, when her life went so bad, we felt for her. Her divorce last year just kind of drew a line under things.
It's interesting that they didn't mention about her dying since this is taking place in 1994. Princess Diane. Alright, let's try that. Princess.
It wasn't the present so much. It was one of those arguments that had been simmering for a while. The present was a mirror. A nice mirror.
Again with the mirror.
Glass. The kind of mirror a princess would have in a story. He made it specially for me.
Again with the mirror. Argument over mirror.
Let me see. Yes. I drove in here because I remember well I went over the river. And then there was a church. There. Yeah. And I probably well, I remember seeing a street sign called Princess Street. But there it is.
Street.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure it must be this one. There. Remember well, I went over the river, and yeah, there it is.
Okay, Princess Street.
Yeah, we were 17. It was a nice wedding, people said. Simon looked very handsome in the photos. His parents paid for everything, but he's an only child, so it was important to them. It was what they called a shotgun wedding, but if you looked at the photos, you couldn't tell.
I thought we were talking to Eve here.
The dress was beautiful. It looked like Princess Diana's. The train wasn't quite as long though. There's a great photo of the bridesmaid helping to carry it out of the car.
Okay, wedding. Wedding.
We were obsessed with fairy tales. Not just the pretty, pretty ones, but the traditional ones. They were dark and real, bizarre and violent. Felt like life. We had this huge old book that I think Mum must have bought from a library sale. The illustrations had thin tracing paper over them to protect them. They were in colour, shiny plates. At the front of the book was an index of illustrations. We read that more than the actual stories. We'd read aloud the captions and flip between the pictures. There was something intimate about peeling back the tracing paper and dressing the pictures. Rapunzel's hair is cut. The eagle plucks out his heart. The princess pricks her finger.
Rapunzel. I don't think that's how you spell it, but close enough. Okay, let's go Princess Street. All right. Now we're getting somewhere. I hope.
That's all that matters, really. The baby. Simon's dead, but the baby, that's how he will live on. Our baby.
So what happened to the miscarriage? I'm confused.
You're reaching here, and I don't know why. No, I've never cheated on anyone. I've never taken anything from anyone. Simon is dead. But I have my baby to care for. Why are you trying to make me sad? Why are you so obsessed with sex and affairs? You cheated on your wife. Is this your thing?
Okay, so now we got a baby. I don't know where the baby came from. Well, we got a baby.
It was supposed to be a secret. Just because Simon is dead doesn't mean I have to give up all his secrets. It doesn't have anything to do with what happened to Simon. No one murdered my husband because he cheated his expenses for a romantic weekend in Oxford.
Oxford. So, Simon Secrets. Oxford.
Like I said before, it was 3, something like that. I walked in, saw Simon. He was on the floor of the living room. His throat had been cut. There was a lot of blood. Yeah, he was dead.
Okay. Simon. There's something else there.
Like I said before, it was 3
3.
on the floor of the living room.
Living room. Living room. Okay, so where do we go to? Simon's Secrets. Let's look at it. Secrets. Nope. Oxford.
There was a conference, something to do with double glazing, in Oxford.
What the hell is this glazing?
Are you sure? What would he be doing in Oxford if there was no conference? I remember calling him. He said it was boring and he spent most of the time at the bar.
Conference. Oxford. Glazing. Simon Bar.
I told her it was one of my boyfriends, someone I had met in the bar. I think she was happy. But I could tell she was thinking, why couldn't it happen to her and Simon? They were the ones with the real life. Why not them?
Okay, so that was apparently Eve talking. Hannah, Simon.
Differences? She's a better driver than me. She passed the test for us. I tried to take it and nearly crashed the car. Learned that you can't rely on confidence to get you through everything. She is the shy one. She was especially shy around boys. If Hannah liked a boy, I would have to pursue him. It was that way with Carl. Hannah met him first. She had such a crush. I let him take my virginity after a night that his band had played at. It got difficult. When I was with Carl, we would have sex, but Hannah couldn't let him see she was a virgin. She had lots of excuses. After a while, we decided that I should take Hannah's virginity.
Oh, Jesus.
It's not that different to a bruise, pulling a tooth, a graze. We used a hairbrush.
I mean, sexy, but
That we took it in turns, though. I was always the one who seduced the boys. Until Simon.
This is getting awkward. Okay, so we got virginity now. And Carl.
Hannah was so smitten with Simon. She started getting jealous, didn't want to share. Even the first date, we went to see Tom Cruise at the Old Odeon. We
Tom
both
Cruise?
went, kept changing places in the toilet. We only had the one best dress, so we had to keep swapping clothes. Must have thought we had terrible bladder problems. The next date, it was my turn. At the end, I let him kiss me, but that was it. We didn't want another card on our hands, and the Ouija board had said to hold back.
Ouija board?
After that, it was Hannah's turn, and she slept with him. Broke the rules. Deliberately broke the rules. She wanted to be the first to sleep with him. I mean, that's when she got pregnant. From that one time. We went to see Tom Cruise at the Old Odeon.
Okay, so we got Tom Cruise, Odeon, Ouija board. Yeah, pregnancy, okay. Something tells me that Ouija board's gonna play a part.
Yeah.
This is a long one.
The parents decided there would be a wedding. And after the wedding, Hannah moved in with his parents. There was no way I could follow. So we were separated again. I stayed in the attic. It was hard. It's like I suddenly didn't exist.
You stayed in the attic?
I would sneak out, but in case anyone recognized me, I started wearing a wig. Hannah and I would meet up in the park. I was trying to get pregnant. But I couldn't. I mean, I couldn't do it with anyone we knew, so it was sex with strangers. Drunk guys I'd met in clubs, parks and alleyways. I was 17.
Mm.
It felt like I was being punished. But it was Hannah who had betrayed us.
Ah, boy.
I had to stop when one of the guys gave me an STD. When we met up, it was disturbing. For the first time, my reflection, she didn't look like me. She was fatter, flushed. If anything, I was getting skinnier. I found it hard to look sometimes. We talked about what to do. Was it time to become our own people? I mean, that seemed like the right thing to do, but neither of us wanted it. We agreed that her and Simon would get their own place as soon as possible, and then I could move in. And that was the plan.
Okay, so what do we get from that? Let's see again.
But
The
in
wedding.
case anyone had sex with strangers,
STD.
stop them. And to become our own people.
Become our own
Yeah.
people. STD. Become our own people. Okay, I want to look at this Ouija board. Ouija.
When beautiful people died, we always felt like it was a sign. You remember Princess Grace? Grace Kelly? She died in a car crash the year before we met Simon. We used a Ouija board to speak to her, and that gave us the power to find him. That's what we thought then. That people who died tragically leave some kind of magic behind. We used to share dreams. We used to wake up and write them down in our diaries immediately and compare them.
Yeah, Princess Grace. Kelly. Diaries. STD.
I was living in the attic.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very hard time. I was depressed, was still pretty sick of the STD. And I came down one morning and they were dead.
Oh.
They were in bed and both had been sick. They'd thrown up a lot. And I'd slept through it. The police said it was the mushrooms they ate.
Mushrooms.
Dad was a mushroom expert. I mean, he used to take us picking with him and he taught us how to recognize them. There's no way you would have picked dead caps. But the police believe that's what happened. They never even looked in the attic.
I like that little reaction again. I want to see that.
If that's what happened, they never even looked in the attic.
A smile, and then. Mm-hmm. Death caps, mushrooms, attic.
They said it was food poisoning. There was something in the food they ate. My dad liked to pick mushrooms, grow them too. They said it was the mushrooms. It was hard to believe. Death caps. They have a skirt around the cap. My dad taught me that. But I mean, the police had no reason to think it was suspicious. They lived alone. And no one had any reason to hurt them.
So she confirmed it.
The whole thing was wrong. The bags, I think they were from our kitchen. You could probably check that. We never go into the cellar. It's just a place we put things we don't need. Dad used to grow mushrooms there. The bags were taped up. I think it was parcel tape. I think it was ours.
Dead parents. Eve attic. Our own people. Attic.
Yes, I read a lot as a child and watched lots of TV. Then the doll's house we had, we still have in the attic. It's kind of a fairy castle. We used to play out there and make up our own stories.
Again with the dollhouse.
Could the hairs have come from somewhere else? I mean,
Hair.
could they... We have a lot of dolls in the attic. There's a Rapunzel doll with long blonde hair. Could they have come from there?
Blonde hair. Here. Doll hair. I think this can be the last one for tonight. I'm creeped
I'm not
out.
sure where the dollhouse came from. I don't know if it was given to them or they inherited it. I mean, they wouldn't have had the money to buy it. It was so huge. It must have been taken up to the attic in parts and then reassembled up there. It's a beautiful thing. Wallpaper to scale. little furniture. The lights work, mirrors, beds, big duvets and pillows. We spent hours and hours playing in it, invented all these characters and families who lived there. We wrote paperwork for them all, passports, diaries, and gave them all really elaborate stories. Once, a moth got trapped in there. We'd left a light on. It was making the most horrendous noise. We tried to kill it, but it was tough. We ended up crushing it under a copy of the Arabian Nights.
Okay, Arabian Nights. All right. Anything else on here? No. Detective. Huh. Okay, after this, then we'll cut it.
Childhood sweethearts. Something like that. Are you married, detective?
Childhood sweethearts.
No, it's okay. The other detective has just gone to get me one. Must think it's very cool that their dad is a police detective.
Well, that was no help. Alright, let's cut it off here.